Ever notice how the second you're alone at home, the air feels heavier, your thoughts get louder, and suddenly you're reaching for your keys like the quiet is chasing you out the door? It's wild. You can be totally fine all day, but the moment everything goes still, your mind's like, yeah, we're not doing this. And if that hits a little too close, yeah, you need to hear this because there's a real psychological reason behind it. It's way deeper than just liking to go out. And honestly, people who feel this aren't weird, they're wired differently. In this video, you're finally going to understand why your brain reacts this way. So when you clicked on a video titled Psychology of People Who Love Staying Outside Home, with a thumbnail saying, people who love staying outside home, it probably felt a little too accurate to scroll past. Because this isn't about loving the outdoors or being overly social. It's about that strange calm you feel everywhere, except the place that's supposed to feel safe. And here's what most people never realize. This pattern isn't random. It subtly exposes how your mind handles silence, emotional pressure, and the kinds of feelings you'd rather outrun than sit with. And if that stings a little, good, because this habit points to a deeper emotional wiring that quietly shapes how you cope, connect, and protect yourself. So let me ask you something real. Why is it that the moment you're home, your chest feels tight, but the second you step outside, you can finally breathe again? And why does your own room make you overthink, while sitting alone in a coffee shop feels almost peaceful? Here's the crazy part. Way more people feel this than they'll ever admit. Ever notice how you feel lonelier in your house than you do around total strangers? Or how the silence at home somehow feels louder than noise outside? And the part nobody talks about, you feel most yourself only when you're out moving, distracted, or surrounded by life, which means something much deeper is going on inside you. Ever wonder why your brain relaxes outside faster than it ever does at home? Here's where the psychology hits. Some minds hate stillness because silence makes all those buried emotions roar back up. For others, home is tied to pressure or stress their body still remembers. That's why sitting alone in your room feels heavier than being anywhere else. And some nervous systems regulate better with movement, noise, and background life. It gives the mind something to anchor to so it doesn't spiral. Home triggers, outside calms. Your brain is choosing survival over comfort. And if this sounds like you, here's the part nobody ever explains. This reaction points to a deeper psychological pattern, and once you see it, you'll never look at your habits the same way again. Here's what most people don't realize. Your mind isn't turning on you. It's reacting to everything you never have the space to feel. The moment the noise fades and you're finally alone, the room feels heavier, your breathing shifts, and your shoulders tense without you noticing. The thoughts you push down all day start rising back up, slow at first, then flooding you before you're ready. That's why the quiet hits so hard, why you want to move, scroll, leave, anything but sit in it. Your body isn't failing you. It's finally trying to let go of everything you've been holding together. And what happens after that is even deeper. Here's the part nobody ever talks about. The real reason you suddenly feel the urge to get up, walk around, or escape the room when the quiet gets too real. You're not being dramatic. You're shifting into a survival pattern your body learned a long time ago, back when you didn't have the space, the support, or the safety to sit with your emotions. Your body learned to stay busy so it wouldn't break. That restlessness, that need to escape the quiet, that's your nervous system saying, we're hitting a depth I wasn't trained to handle alone. Some people feel it as tightness, some as pacing, some as zoning out, and some get that sudden urge to fix something that isn't even urgent. Different reactions, same root. Your body choosing movement over overwhelm. And the twist? What triggers you now was shaped years before you ever understood it. Here's something most people overlook. That pull to step outside isn't about the room at all. It's about what the stillness brings up the second everything stops moving. When the noise dies down, the distractions fade, and suddenly you notice the things you pushed aside all day. The restless fidgeting, the zoning out, that urge to get up before your thoughts land. Even that tiny stomach drop that hits out of nowhere. Stillness exposes you. Motion protects you. Not in a dramatic way, just in a quiet, automatic way your body has been trained to follow. When you're alone and everything slows down, your mind doesn't get louder by accident. It's because movement feels safer than sitting in the emotions that catch up when nothing else is happening. And here's the real clue. You're not reacting to the room, you're reacting to a survival pattern your body learned years before you eat. Here's the part almost nobody ever connects. That urge to step outside, it didn't start recently. Your body learned it way back in moments when staying still didn't feel safe, supported, or understood. Maybe you grew up in a home where the energy felt heavy, or where you felt you had to stay alert, or where being out and about felt easier than sitting in a space that never really settled. And your body never unlearned that. So now, when a room gets quiet, your system doesn't think, "I'm fine." It thinks, "This feels familiar, move." That's why outside feels lighter, not because the world is perfect, but because motion feels safer than sitting with feelings that once had nowhere to go. And here's the twist. This whole pattern points to one core emotional truth almost nobody recognizes in themselves, until it finally clicks. So here's the truth most people never realize until someone finally says it out loud. You don't love being outside because you're restless or avoidant. You love it because your body spent years learning that movement, noise, and open spaces felt safer than sitting in the kind of stillness that used to overwhelm you. That urge to step out isn't a flaw. It's a survival skill that stayed with you long after you stopped needing it. But here's the good part. Once you understand this, the pattern stops owning you. You start noticing when your body slips into old wiring, you catch the moment your mind tries to run, and slowly you learn how to feel safe in your own space again. Not by forcing it, but by finally understanding yourself. And honestly, that's the real growth. When you stop judging your reactions and start seeing them for what they really are. Signs of a nervous system that's been trying to protect you your whole life.